In St. Louis, we are ready now for the heavyweight division, and what a great matchup this has become. These two guys are certainly no strangers to one another. Tommy Rowlands of Ohio State, Pat Cummins of Penn State. Rowlands the #1 seed, Pat Cummins the #2 seed. They're both in the same conference. They have wrestled a ton of times.
They sure have, and Cummins, one of the only ones to be able to beat Rowlands, has done it a couple times, but Rowlands has beaten Cummins 5 times, Jeff.
That's in the overall series. This year it's 2-1 in favor of Rowlands. Rowlands beat him in the Big Ten Finals. He built up a bit of a lead, but Cummins came back on him. They always seem to wrestle close.
Rowlands started out his career with a bang. He was right there, but Cummins came in basically to Penn State as a 205-pound wrestler, built himself up to 260 pounds, Jeff. I'm really impressed with the way he's trained and built himself to this position.
Well, he's a real hard worker, and he's very athletic as well. Rowlands very athletic, and this is what Rowlands does best, getting to the leg and finishing. And the Buckeyes, with a victory here, could move up the standings. They could tie Lehigh for 3rd place.
Tommy Rowlands on top right now. He was the 2002 champion in the heavyweight division. Lost a little bit of weight. He's actually going to the Olympic trials in April, trying to qualify as a 211-pounder.
He felt that his weight at around 230 gave him the most efficiency, quickness, and power with stamina. But one wonders, did he keep the weight low to maybe striking distance of 211 as well? But it hasn't affected his wrestling.
Still powerful.
Second as a freshman, champion as a sophomore, injured in the quarterfinals. Last year couldn't compete in the semifinals, and now this year returning to form and a chance at a 2nd title.
Tommy's dad, Tom Sr., his high school wrestling coach.
Cummins looking to get away, but Rowlands picking him up, putting him back down. You're not going anywhere.
Loading him up there and tried for the tilt and almost got an extra 2 points for near falls, but the official Keith Pullman said no, it wasn't there for 2 counts.
See that riding time starting to build up for Rowlands as well.
Nothing.
You get the sense right now, Jeff, that Tommy Rowlands has a sense of urgency about winning this 2nd NCAA championship. And you know, when it gets to this point, urgency it's a big deal.
You know, you say urgency, I say focus. Every time I've seen him this year, Tim, he has just been relentless in his approach to how he's going to attack his opponent. Talking to Coach Hellickson, you know, he says he's one of the hardest workers in the room, and as a heavyweight, you know what kind of opinion most people have about us big guys.
Well, I'm not going to say anything sitting next to you.
Here we go, guys. There's 36 seconds left.
That proves my point. Thank you very much.
You bully. 36 seconds remaining. The riding time up to 1:31 now for Rowlands. 3 times he has literally picked Pat Cummins up off the mat and thrown him back down, and Cummins weighs over 260.
Well, look at Rowlands is going from one side to another. He's knocking Cummins down to off his base. Look at flat right there. He's going to come to the other side, back and forth, and what he's doing is impressing the referee to where he'll never call him for stalling.
And with just 10 seconds left, this is the perfect strategy to end the period.
In fact, he's saying the bottom man isn't doing anything, and that's because Tommy Rowlands is dominating right now.
Wait, guys.
So Tommy Rowlands, the #1 seed. Pat Cummins, the #2 seed. And I loved what you had to say there, Tim, about the different pedigrees for these 2 wrestlers. Pat Cummins wasn't even awarded a scholarship until this year after he finished 4th last year. Tommy Rowlands came out with all those great credentials from high school. And even Tommy Rowlands, he's got to give a lot of Pat Cummins a lot of credit. Says to imagine that we'd be facing each other for championships 4 years ago. That's a credit to Pat Cummins' hard work.
Well, that's the same thing that Troy Sunderland, the head coach of Penn State, says. He says his year-round commitment, we're talking about Pat Cummins, his eating, his lifting, his training, that's what's impressed him. And that's why he's here, Jeff.
I agree with you 100%. Cummins has earned his way here by developing in the last 4 years. Rowlands has that pedigree and has been good throughout his career, outstanding throughout his career. both want to put a punctuation mark on it tonight.
Rowlands does a nice job of stuffing the head and then dropping down and attacking the legs. And right now he's going to drop down for 2. There were 3 moves right there, and that's a mark of a champion. He didn't just stuff him, he stuffed him.
What's that? What's that?